The first thing that you're asked to do when you set up a new Facebook ad campaign is to choose an objective. And that objective that you choose is going to have a massive impact on the actual outcome of your campaigns. So without sounding too dramatic, the objective that you choose can literally make or break an entire campaign. So that's why in this video, I'm going to show you how to choose the right campaign objective for your Facebook ads every time. I'm also going to show you the objective that we use about 80% of the time. And I'm also going to show you the campaign objectives that we basically never touch because they're pretty much a waste of money. So make sure you stick around for that as well. If you're new to this channel, hi, my name's Andrew Hubbard. I'm the founder of Hubbard Digital. We're a Facebook and Instagram advertising agency and education company. And we focus on online course creators, coaches, consultants, and membership site owners and helping them grow using digital marketing. Before we get into the content, all I ask if you enjoy this video is that you hit that like button and give it a thumbs up. If you do want to hear more from me, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell. You'll get notified whenever I release a new video on Facebook advertising or digital marketing. And you'll also get notified when I go live on YouTube. I do that where I share some different content there that I don't put in these videos, and that content only stays up for a day or two normally. So the only way to see that is if you do hit that bell, make sure you get notified so you can catch those live videos. Okay, so when you go to create a Facebook ad campaign, they're going to ask you to choose your objective, and they'll give you a list of 11 different ad campaign objectives. And Facebook organizes those objectives into 3 different columns. Basically, those columns are designed to kind of represent a customer journey. So you've got awareness, consideration, and conversion. That being that people start in the awareness phase, then they move into considering a product, and then they convert into a lead or a customer. That's the theory there and why they structure it. And they just do that to make it a bit easier for new advertisers to understand and to visualize and to make the right choice. Unfortunately, it's not a perfect system, and I'll often use these campaign objectives not necessarily in this order or in this way that Facebook kind of lays out for us. And you'll understand why as we go through this video. So what Facebook wants you to do, and the purpose of these objectives, is for you to tell Facebook what it actually is that you want to achieve, so that the system can then go out and help you achieve that objective. So in theory, if you choose the right objective, then they will get you the result that you want. And that generally happens. The problem is when you actually don't choose the objective that is aligned with your end goal. So here's how it works. Facebook basically know an incredible amount about each of their users. I'm talking thousands and thousands of data points. And this goes way beyond just, knowing what pages you've liked and who your friends are. They even know which users tend to click a lot of links on Facebook. They know if a user is more likely to engage with posts. So if they click the like button on a lot of posts and they comment on a lot of posts, Facebook knows that about that person. They know which people are likely to click ads and then go and enter an email address and sign up for something. They know which users are more likely to purchase. So they know if user A is somebody who regularly clicks ads and goes off and buys things straight away, or maybe user B, they might know that that person very rarely purchases products from ads. They have these big profiles built for every user, and they use that when they're targeting their ads. And that is where the Facebook campaign objectives come in. Basically, you tell Facebook what your objective is, and they'll put your ads in front of people who are likely to go and complete that objectives. So we just said, for example, Facebook knows who is likely to click on an ad. So if you tell Facebook you want traffic, it's going to go and put your ads in front of people who are likely to click links and go off to visit websites after they see an ad. What you need to make sure you do here is choose an objective that actually aligns with your end goal, and not an objective that aligns with something that's further up in the process or higher in the process. So don't worry if you don't know what that means. I'm going to walk you through an example now to clarify exactly what I'm talking about. Let's say you want people to register for a webinar. And so your objective is for people to click on your ad, go to your landing page, enter their name and email, click the submit button, and register for an upcoming webinar. Now, the first step in that process is to get a person to click the ad and go to the landing page. So you want traffic to your landing page. But a really common and easy mistake to make here would be to choose traffic as your objective and say, well, I want traffic to my landing page. It makes sense, right? But what happens then is if you choose traffic as the objective, Facebook is going to go out and show your ads to people who are likely to click links. So those people might be very likely, and they will be very likely, to click on a link in an ad. But those people are not necessarily the same people who are likely to convert into a lead, meaning they're not the people who often enter their name and email and sign up for things. So you've told Facebook, hey, I want traffic. Facebook is going to show your ads to people who are likely to click on a link, and you're going to get exactly what you asked for. So Facebook, in that case, will send you a lot of traffic to your landing page, but what you will find is that very few of those people, and I'm talking very few, like less than 5%, will actually register for the webinar. They won't take that final step because you've told Facebook you want traffic and they're giving you traffic, but you actually want conversions. What you really want, the end goal, is for people to enter their name and email and sign up for your webinar. So the correct campaign objective here would be conversions, because then you're telling Facebook, okay, I want people who are going to convert into a lead, meaning a webinar subscriber. So if you choose conversions, Facebook is going to show your ads then to people who are likely to register for the webinar, who are likely to actually convert into a lead, and you are going to get much better results. So that's what I mean by focusing on your end goal. Look at what the final thing is that you want users to do. The main thing, in this case, it was convert into a webinar subscriber. So we choose conversions. Don't focus on that first step, which is traffic, or an earlier step in the process. Focus on what you actually want them to do in the end. And it's that conversions objective that I find myself using 80% of the time, because most of the time what we're doing is we're running ads on Facebook and we want people to either become a lead or a customer, so make a purchase from us. Conversions encompasses all different types of conversion events. So whether it's signing up for an email list, so that could be a webinar, a PDF, a cheat sheet, a checklist. It could be booking a call with you, so converting into a lead that way. It could be purchasing a product, so converting into a customer. So that's where you'll see e-commerce companies advertising products. They'll send you to a product page, people enter their credit card details and buy the product. That's where you would go with conversions, wanting people to convert into customers. So you might be wondering, well, how does Facebook know the difference between a conversion that is a lead and a conversion that is a purchase? And the way they do that is at the ad set level. So when you choose conversions as your campaign objective, Facebook will ask you at the ad set level, what conversion specifically would you like to optimize for? And that's where you can choose to optimize for a lead, or for, let's say, a booking an appointment or booking a call, or it could be optimizing for a purchase. And that's where you tell Facebook exactly what it is that you want, and they can then optimize for that conversion event for you. Now, if you're thinking, what the heck is a conversion event? I've got no idea what this guy's talking about. I made a video on conversions as well, so there should be a link that pops up at the top of this video now. You can click that after you watch this video, or click it now in a new window, whatever you want to do, and check it out after this. That'll explain conversion events and how to set them up as well. Okay, so now you know that conversions are going to be the bulk of your campaigns most likely, because you're going to be wanting a direct response from your customers. You're going to want them to click an ad and then go ahead and do something. But there are several scenarios and several campaigns that we're running quite regularly that use different objectives. So I'll walk you through a few of those now and a few common situations that you might run into. First, let's look at a situation where you might use the traffic objective. The traffic objective can be really handy when you simply want people to go to a page on a website and consume the content. So for example, if we're running traffic to blog posts, if we want to get people to read our latest blog post, then we'll simply choose the traffic objective and then put the link to our blog post in that ad. And Facebook is going to send us lots of traffic to that post. We don't want people in this case to enter a name, an email, or purchase something. All we want to do is send people to that page so they can read the blog post. And so that's a situation where the traffic objective would be perfect, and it works really well for that. So another example where we might want to use a different objective is video views. So there's a video views campaign objective, and that's perfect, and we use this quite often for when we want to promote a video on Facebook. So we upload a video to our Facebook page natively. So we don't link to the video. We actually upload the video and we turn that video into an ad. And all we want to do is get people to watch the video and consume the content. And so the objective that works best there is video views. And remember, this is going back to just telling Facebook exactly what it is you want. So in this case, if we just want people to watch the video and we don't want them to click a link and go and check out a blog post or visit a website, we just want them to consume that video content right there on the Facebook platform, then video views is perfect for that. And we use this for videos where we're just giving content like this one, just helpful information, and we want to share that. So that's where we would use a video views objective. And another fairly common objective that I will use is the reach objective. And this is a good example of an objective where we're not using it in that order that Facebook lays their objectives out at the start. So we had the awareness phase at the start and the reach objective was under awareness. But I tend to use the reach objective quite differently to that. And where I find myself using the reach objective is at the bottom of the funnel. So after people have seen our offers and we're trying to remind them of something or get a particular message in front of them, I will use the reach objective, especially when it's a small audience. So the reach objective, what we're telling Facebook there is, hey, I just want this ad to reach as many people in my target audience as possible. Now, this is important because you'll remember from earlier in the video, I talked about how Facebook will show your ads to specific people based on the objective that you choose. So let's say you have a target audience and you say, I want to target everybody who has visited my website or engaged with me on Facebook or Instagram or who's liked my page in the last 12 months. When you do that and you say, I choose the conversion objective, there might be 1 million people in your target audience. But when you choose the conversion objective, Facebook says, but only 200,000 of those million people are actually likely to convert. So I'm going to show these ads not to the whole million people, but to the 200,000 that I know are likely to convert. So Facebook doesn't show your ads to the entire target audience. It shows your ads to the people who are likely to complete the objective that you've chosen. So let's run through an example of how I use reach and why it is better in this circumstance. If I'm running ads to a webinar registration, and then I'm running a second set of ads, a second campaign to remind people of the live webinar to get them to attend. So these ads would run on the day of the webinar, and they would simply say, hey, don't forget the webinar's today at 3 p.m. Make sure you check your inbox. The link is there to join. Mark it on your calendar. You don't want to miss it. We're going to be live. There'll be a Q&A. That ad is going out to only people who have registered for your webinar. So it's a very small audience. Let's say you've got 500 people who've signed up for the webinar. You're just going to target those 500 registrants with that ad to say, hey, don't forget, join the webinar. So if we were to choose, let's say, a traffic objective and we targeted those 500 people, Facebook is going to then say, you've got a 500 person audience here, but you want traffic. And I know that only 100 of these people are likely to click links in ads. And so I'm going to show this ad to 100 people out of that 500 person audience. Now, the reason that doesn't work in this situation, you've probably realized it already, is because we want to remind all of our registrants about the webinar. We don't want Facebook to just choose a subset and show it to them based on our objective. That's where reach comes in. If we choose the reach objective, Facebook is going to try and show our ad to as many of those 500 people as it possibly can, which is perfect. And better still, we can set the frequency of those ads. So we can actually tell Facebook when we choose the reach objective, hey, I would like to show these ads once per day per person. In the case of a webinar reminder, I would say, I want people to see this ad twice per day per person, okay? I can set that up and I know that almost all of my webinar registrants are then going to see those reminder ads. And that's where the reach objective comes in handy. All right, so let's move on to which objectives I basically never use and never touch. And there are only really two of them. One is brand awareness. And the reason I don't use brand awareness is because the way that is used, what you're telling Facebook is, I want more people to become aware or familiar with my brand. And the way these campaigns work is Facebook shows your ads to a ton of different people. And of course, you choose the targeting as always. It shows your ads and then it surveys them after. And you may or may not have seen this in the newsfeed, but it will pop up with a little thing to those people after, a little box, and it says, hey, which of these brands do you recognize? Or hey, do you remember seeing X brand in the last 24 hours? Yes or no? And it surveys people. And so it'll show your ads and then ask them, do they recognize your brand? Do they remember your brand? Have they seen it before? And it measures brand uplift. So it basically says, okay, based on this campaign, your uplift was 10%, like 10% more people or whatever recognize your brand. Like for most businesses, small and medium size, it's just useless. And it costs, to run one of these effectively, is a $6-figure US spend, right? So it's very expensive, and you're basically measuring how much of an uplift your brand got. And that really is only useful for brands like Coca-Cola and huge brands like that, okay? They're the ones using these brand uplift campaigns. For us, it's largely irrelevant. Now, the other campaign objective that I never use is engagement. So I have used this in the past, and I used to use it. But, things have changed, things have moved on, and the Facebook landscape is very different to what it used to be. And so I just don't use engagement campaigns anymore. Basically, with an engagement objective, what you're telling Facebook is you want people to engage with your ad. And that means it could be clicking the like button, it could be adding a comment. If it's video ads, a 3-second video view is considered an engagement. So you might run one of these ads to a video, and then you get a bunch of people watching for 3 seconds, and Facebook's like, hey, I got you, 100 engagements. Basically, the theory is you're building social proof on the ads. So building lots of likes, comments, and whatever on the ads. And you may have seen there's strategies around this, very old sort of stuff now. It's just largely ineffective. Like what happens is if you create a good ad and you choose your actual objective, so being conversions or whatever it is, you're going to get people engaging with the ad anyway. You don't need to pay specifically for an engagement. You just choose your actual goal. And if the ad's a great ad, people will like and comment and share it. So yeah, engagement is just, generally it's a waste of money. I have heard rumors that maybe Facebook will even remove the engagement objective at some point. So yeah, it's just something that I don't even bother using now. All right, so hopefully by this point you understand the importance of choosing the right objective and how to actually make that decision and choose the right objective for your Facebook ad campaigns. If you enjoyed this video, please, all I ask literally is that you just hit that thumbs up button. It really does help a lot, even though it's super quick and easy for you to do. It means a lot for the channel, it helps us grow, and it tells me what kind of content you enjoy and what I should keep creating. If you decide you want to hear more from me, click subscribe and click that little bell, and you'll get notified whenever I release a new video on digital marketing or Facebook ads. And also when I do those Facebook Lives, where I do things like Q&As and put content out there that I don't share in my regular videos, and that stuff's only around for 24 to 48 hours. So if you're not on the notification list there, then you probably won't see those. All right, thanks again for watching. As always, I really appreciate your time, and I'll see you in the next video.